Okay, now let's continue to perform the exploratory data analysis on this Uber dataset. Now, this is the continuation of our statistics and probability for data science. We are now in section 2, where we are currently performing the EDA in a hands-on manner. So do check out the other videos in the playlist to get a continuation of the same. So I hope you are enjoying till now. So if you're enjoying, feel free to share it with your friends and family so that everyone can learn more. If you have got any feedback, do let me know in the comment section or connect with me on LinkedIn. So thanks everyone. So let's continue further in the learning journey. Okay, so in the last video, we have loaded the data set and we have seen how we can transform a column in my data set into a datetime column. Now, this is one of the commonly asked question in an examination, especially like the AWS machine learning certificate examination. Whenever you're dealing with the datetime format, so what are the type of actions that you would generally take? Will you actually drop it, or do you actually transform the data so that you can understand the important information from the given data set? Well, the answer is whenever we are dealing with the data, especially the date kind of data, so these values are actually unique values. So to find the pattern, what we do is we will go ahead and extract the year, like year, month, day, and so on. So I'm going to say year. Okay, to give you an example, how do we actually extract the important information? So pickup date dot dt dot year. So in this way I can get an year. So likewise I can actually get the month. So now dt dot month, and it's actually month underscore name. You can check out the Panda series documentation to get the information about the same. And I'm going to say hover, so dt dot hover. So this is just to demonstrate that we can extract the important information from the date time data type as well. This is one of the commonly missed one, especially when the learners are starting out for the first time. So I don't want you to do the same mistake. Remember, you should not drop the date column. You should extract the information so that you can find the pattern. For example, you can try to find, okay, how are the trips of my Uber month wise? So because you now have the month column. So this is a demonstration of the data transformation. Now, once that is done, let's say you do not want that column with you anymore. So I'll say df.drop, and you can mention that column, that is the pickup date now. And I want to remove it in place, so I'll say in place is equal to true. Now once it's done, we can validate that we have 3 new columns: year, month, hour, and we have dropped the original column of pickup date. So that is one of the illustration of data transformation. Okay, next what we can do is we can check for any missing values. So missing values is a crazy thing. You should never have any missing values in the data set. So to check for any missing values, you'll just say df.na.sum. This will give me the total number of missing values in a column wise. So in the column of borrow, there are 3043 missing values. So the borrow is nothing but where the pickup was actually happened. So since I do not have this information, so if I want to do any analysis, maybe I can go ahead and fill those missing values as well with some string value as an identifier for me as of now. So I'll say df.fill any. I'm going to say not known. Okay, that's the one name that I'm going to mention right now. And I can say in place is equal to true. So this will fill the missing values. Okay, now what I can do is I can go ahead and check how many number of entries that we have got in that column by calling the value underscore count. So this will help me to better understand, okay, what is the overall distribution of the data. So we can see that for each and every New York borough, we have got 4343 rows. And for the value not known, we have got 3043 rows. Okay, so we have taken care of missing values in the data set. Next, what do? We can now go ahead and create the visualization. And we have learned in detail in our previous videos as how we can actually create the visualization whenever we are analyzing one column at a time or two column at a time. I leave it up to you to try out the various combination, and I want you to take that as an assignment. And once you do that assignment, share that notebook in the comment section so that we can review the same and the other learners can also learn from the notebook. I highly recommend you to do the same. Okay, now coming back guys. Okay, so obviously if I want to tell you at a very high level, so you can go ahead and create a count plot for this single column of borrow. For pickups, maybe you can create a histogram chart or a box plot, and the same thing for every numerical column that you see. And you can go ahead and perform the bivariate analysis on this given data set. So these are the various options that you have. To give you an example, so you can go ahead and create a count plot for the column of borrow. Okay, let's say x is equal to borrow because it's a categorical data. So you can create a count plot to understand how it actually look like, and then you can go ahead and find the plot. Let's assume that you want to create the pair plot. Like you can create a pair plot which is like a scatter plot between each and every numerical columns in the data set, or since we are working with the date, maybe you can also go ahead and check out with the line plot. So these are the various ways we can think about and analyzing the data. Now let us assume that I want to find the outliers in the given data set. So I'm going to say data is equal to df, and here for my x, okay, I'm going to consider the value of pickups. Okay, that's the column that I'm going to consider. Now I want to split it in terms of, let us say, on the borrow. Now if I go ahead and create a visualization, so we can see that this is how the overall distribution would look like, and Manhattan is the one where the majority of number of pickups have actually happened. So majority of pickups have actually happened in the Manhattan system, okay, or the Manhattan region. Okay, and we see that for the not known Staten Island, so it is very less. The number of pickups is very less, even including the Bronx. And Manhattan is followed by Brooklyn and the Queen. So this is how we can visualize the data. Okay, now if you want, you can also make use of the non-visualizing approach as well by creating the group by and performing the aggregation of the given data set. So the core idea that you need to remember is, when you are working with the data, first thing is you will load this data as a data frame, then you will check the data types, transform the data, create the new columns from the existing columns, and then you will also create the visualization to understand the relationship in the given data set. So here in my given data set, the Manhattan is the one where we would observe the most number of pickups is actually happening. Now you can go ahead and get more information from the date column. Maybe you can go ahead and perform the visualization by getting the month or by analyzing the hour to compare between how each hour the pickups would look like. So those are the other kind of analysis which you can do. Now by doing that, you will get a better information as what is happening with the data. So with this, we come to the end of this section on the exploratory data analysis in the section number 2 in our statistics and probability for data science. Now, moving ahead in our learning journey, in the section number 3, we are going to discuss about the probability. So in this section of probability, we will understand some of the core concepts like what exactly is this probability, the rules of probability, Bayes theorem, hands-on probability, and random variables. So these are some of the important concepts which every data scientist has to know whenever you're working with the data. So you learn all about this in the next video, that is in the coming sections. I hope you are liking the learning journey with me. You can also check out my other courses on Udemy, where I teach on Udemy, and we've got more than 20,000 learners over there. And we've got a separate course on statistics and probability for data science, and there's a special course on practical natural language processing, linear algebra, calculus, the data science for SAP and AWS machine learning certification, computer vision, deep learning. So there are many more courses which are available on Udemy website. You can check the links in the description to get the best prices every day. Okay, do check out the links. I hope to seeing you in the next section where we begin our learning journey on probability. So I'll see you next time.